Let me be honest with you. Maraming magagaling magtrabaho na hindi natatanggap sa cruise ship not because they lack skills, but because they struggle to speak English. So if you think English is optional, on board, think again. It can literally decide if you get hired, pass your interview, or keep your job. Hi guys, my name is Tintin and I share tips and real experiences about cruise ship life, application, and everything you need to know before going on board. If you're serious about working on a cruise ship, make sure to like and subscribe and let's get into it. So let's start with the most critical stage, your interview. This is where everything begins. Kahit gaano kakagaling sa actual work mo, if you cannot communicate in English, mahihirapan ka talaga. During your initial interview, recruiters will ask you questions like, tell me about yourself, what is your experience, why do you want to work on board? Simple questions, but here's the catch. They are not just listening to your answer. They are observing how you answer. Are you confident? Can you explain clearly? Can you handle follow-ups question? Now, let's talk about the principal interview. This is the next level. This is your actual employer. Dito na sila magde-decide if you're fit to represent their company. They might ask situational questions like, what would you do if a guest complains? How will you handle pressure during busy hours? If you cannot express your thoughts properly, even if alam mo yung sagot, you will struggle. Hindi na kailangan ng perfect English, but they need someone who can communicate with international guests without confusion. Because on board, communication is everything. Next, embassy interview. This is where many applicants get nervous. Especially for US visa interviews, the consul officer will speak in English. They will ask direct and simple question, but they expect clear answer. Example, what is your position? Which company are you joining? What will you do on board? Now imagine this. If you hesitate too much or your answer is unclear, the officer may doubt your purpose. And here's the truth. They are not just checking your documents. They are checking your confidence and credibility. Even if basic English lang. But you answer directly, confidently, and honestly. You have a higher chance of approval. So again, English plays a big role here. Let's move to immigration, both here in Philippines and abroad. This part is often underestimated, but it's very important. Immigration officers may ask questions like, what is your job? Where are you going? How long you will stay? If you cannot answer properly, they might ask more questions, delay you, or worst case, offload you. And you don't want that, especially after preparing everything. They deal with thousands of travelers. If you look unsure or you cannot communicate clearly, it raises doubt. So again, clear, simple English plus confidence. Smooth process. Now let's talk about life on board. You will work with people from all over the world. Different cultures, different accents, different personalities. English is your common language. Everyday situations include receiving instruction from your supervisor, reporting problems, coordinating with other departments, and handling emergencies. If you misunderstand instruction, it can lead to mistake. For example, imagine your supervisor says, prepare this setup before 6 p.m. for a VIP guest. If you didn't fully understand and you prepared it wrong or late, that's a serious issue. And here's something people don't tell you. Miscommunication on board can lead to warnings or even termination. Also, communication affects your relationship. If you can communicate well, mas madali kang makisama, mas less ang conflict, at mas nagiging smooth ang teamwork. Because at the end of the day, you are not working alone. You are part of a team. This is the most important, especially if you're in the guest facing roles. Guests will talk to you every day. They will ask questions, request services, make complaints, start conversation. If you can communicate well, everything becomes easier. For example, a guest asks, "Can you recommend something from the menu?" If you can explain confidently, you can create a good impression. But if you struggle, the guest might lose confidence in your service. Now, let's talk about tips. Based on real experience, communication equals money. If you can make a small talk, smile and engage, respond confidently, guests are more likely to tip you. Sometimes, it's not about perfect service. It's about connection. Konting kwento, konting humor, pagiging friendly, that makes a big difference. Now let's be practical. How do you actually improve? First, speak every day. Don't just study. Speak. Even if you're alone, practice answering interview questions. Train your brain to think in English. Second, watch and copy. Watch English content, YouTube, movies, cruise blogs. Don't just watch. Copy how they speak, their tone, their confidence. Third, accept mistakes. Stop waiting to be perfect. The more mistake you make, the faster you improve. Walang magaling agad. Lahat dumadaan sa mali. Fourth, learn work-related English. Focus on words you will actually use on board. Example, assistance, complaint, reservation, safety procedure. This is more useful than random vocabulary. Fifth, practice real conversation. Find someone to talk to, friends, online groups, even strangers, because real improvement happen in real conversation. So here's the truth. English is not just a skill for cruise ship. It's your tool, your advantage, and sometimes your only chance. It can help you get hired, pass interviews, avoid problems, and earn more money. So if you're serious about this career, start improving today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Again, this is Tintin sharing tips and real talk about cruise ship life. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who wants to work on board. Good luck, and hopefully I'll see you on board soon.